CMAP is in its first phase of a comprehensive plan that we have to deliver in 2010. That first phase is drafting, shaping a vision for the region. 7 counties, 8.3 million people. Big challenge in terms of the work that we have to do. And there are a number of issue areas, topics that will come together as part of the vision for our agency. This map is a 7-county map, and I'm going to ask you to just grab a marker and put an L where you live. So there'll be a lot of L's around Evanston, okay? I'm going to ask you to put a W where you work. Then I'm going to ask you to put an asterisk. Think about the place that's very special in the region, and just take the marker and join, just like what we used to do as kids, join the dots. By a long shot, sustainability was the topic that we're going to talk about. How is your community addressing sustainability, and is there something unique that your community is doing as it relates to sustainability?
The wide open space mentality out there is still alive and well. But if you look at the mentality and the culture in higher density environments such as Evanston, I think it's exactly the opposite.
As between vertical density and regional sprawl, obviously it's much sounder to have density. I just disagree with the idea that it's inherently sound to build dense, because I think that trying to grow your way to sustainability is like trying to spend your way out of debt.
It's astonishing to me, of course, how many condos are up. And I've heard realtors say, I can sell them once, I'm not sure I can twice because they're not built that well. And that makes me ill.
You look at the farmers market, most of the farmers there are from relatively close distances. And if you go to any major food retailers, many of those products are trucked in or trained in from great distances. So if you were to have a lead standard for consumables, just like we have lead standards for buildings, that might be very informative.
One of the alternatives that's going is a biofuel. That's a wonderful thing, but it still, in my mind, has the mentality of the oil industry. Because what it's actually doing is taking a food source and generating it into a fuel. And therefore we're depleting and taking away a food, instead of actually examining the purpose of why do we need the fuel in the first place.
Go to the year 2040 and imagine what our region looks like. How do you get to work? How is the education system different? Where do you shop? Is there more open space or is there less? Where do you go for healthcare? How have we addressed problems like poverty, climate change, and increasing energy costs? It's important for us, as part of our work, to connect with as many residents across the region as possible, to listen to them in terms of how they would like to see, and we are basically framing it, imagine what 2040 would look like.